Here we have a new 2022 Toyota Corolla Cross. And this one comes in the LE trim level with all-wheel drive. Comes in this beautiful sonic silver. And then our interior consists of black cloth. And the powertrain consists of a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. Made it to a CVT. So that gets us around 29 miles per gallon city, 32 highway. But as we come around to the front end here, we have our LED headlamps there. And I really like the overall design just of the grille here. Even with this one being a base model, it's kind of that black plastic, but it looks so good compared to other vehicles I've reviewed. With this one to be the cheapest trim level. But coming around to the wheels here, these are going to be 17-inch aluminum. And we get passive keyless entry on the front doors. And then here we have the controls for our power windows. So that driver's side is going to be one touch auto up and down. Then we have our power door lock controls here, and then power mirrors here. And we can lock the windows here. And it utilizes the door panel pretty well. Cup holder here, and then a little map pocket there. And of course we get standard Toyota Safety Sense 2.0, so automatic high beams there. And there we have our manual driver's seat. And then if you're interested to see how much this is actually made in what country, it's crazy, 40% of these parts come from America. And that's probably more than most American cars these days. So not the best leg room, which is fine. I mean, it's a Corolla. But really not bad at all for this to be such a small vehicle, and I actually have about an inch or two of headroom. And then there we have our rear AC vents. It's nice to have those. And then if you look down below here, tucked underneath, we have a USB-A and a USB-C charging port there, which I can't even see it, so it's going to be hard to get the camera down there. And then there we have a look at the front from back here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cargo space next, if I can squeeze out of here. Okay, so for this, of course, we're going to have a button somewhere, or a lever there, I'm sorry. And there's a gas cap there. As we come around to the back here, we do have LED brake lights, which is really nice to have, especially like I said on this cheaper trim level. And there's a look at the cargo space, which is actually probably where this car is going to shine the most as opposed to a normal Corolla. It's just crazy you get all that extra space. And then this one has an all-weather floor mat covering up the spare there. And we'll go over this JBL sound system here in a minute. I'm going to give you my thoughts on that because I already kind of tested it out. And then we have the option to retract this as well. I like how easy that trunk was to close and had a nice stud to it as opposed to a cheap sounding slam. And then for our rear seats, if you want even more space, you can hit that. Those will fold flat, and then you can actually run longer objects through or have more space to put bags or whatever you want. And then, is that a pocket? Yeah, this is actually a pocket here. They really blended that in well because I thought it was just like the other side. So that's impressive. And then I didn't even notice you have a cup holder here, window here, and then a little storage there. I like how they utilize that door panel, really do. And I want to give a huge shout out to John Roberts Toyota for allowing me to review this Corolla Cross today. I'll leave a link below to this vehicle as well as their entire inventory in the description. And before we check out the engine bay, let's take a quick look at this window sticker here. So those are all your standard features on the left. And then on the right we have the options. And I definitely recommend paying that $14.65 for the JBL sound system, because it's pretty killer. And if you're big into audio, then I would do that as opposed to going aftermarket, because it's going to cost just as much, honestly. So it's nice to get a JBL sound system with a sub, awesome speakers, awesome tweeters for under $1,500, and then knowing that that'll be covered under warranty, so on and so forth. Let's go ahead and pop this hood. And there's that 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. But now let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. And I really like the option of having this leather wrap steering wheel, because this just feels really good as opposed to that vinyl one. Very impressed by that. So coming over here to the radio, we get AM, FM, XM along with Bluetooth, and then you can use USB for the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You can track your trips here in terms of fuel economy and how long you're in the car, whatever. And then this one doesn't have the nav on here, but you can put certain apps on there when applicable and then update them. There's our backup camera there. And then down here we have our single zone automatic climate controls. So we can adjust the temperature, set the auto mode, fan speed, and then we even have an eco mode, which I really like to help with that fuel economy. And then we have a USB charger there. And even in this lower level trim, I think it's awesome that you get a wireless charging pad. Pretty decent size right there. And if you want to ever cut your traction control, your auto stop off, you can just hit one of these buttons here. And then for the shifter, you just pull on this lever here, pull down, reverse, neutral, drive, and then you can slap the shifter over to the left, and then you can manually shift the revs there. Then we have an electronic parking brake. You just pull up to engage and then hit the brake, press down to disengage. We have a brake hold, which is nice. And then we have a small center console cubby space with a 12-volt. And then this one also has the option of, I think it's $940 for a power sunroof. And the controls are there, and we can push that up, or we can one-touch slide it, and then it also one-touch closes as well. And then for the shade, just have a manual one, pull that. And there's a view of the back seat from up here. There's our glove compartment with plenty of owner's manuals. It's actually a pretty big glove compartment. But going over to the steering wheel, we have Bluetooth controls here, volume controls, voice recognition, and then we can actually toggle through the little digital screen on the right side of the gauge cluster. We have plenty of options to choose from there. And to the right side of the steering wheel, we can control our track list or radio station favorites, toggle between our modes with this Bluetooth radio, and then we can actually turn on our lane tracing assist, toggle our forward collision alert, or adaptive cruise or radar cruise control, gap adjust there. Then we can toggle that there. And then if you hold the button, you can toggle between having just a regular cruise control and then having an adaptive cruise control. Headlamp controls here, windshield wiper controls here, and then for your rear, you can just toggle that. I just want to take a quick look at that tweeter there. The JBL sound system is just impeccable. I wish I would have been able to sound test it. I'll have to do that on another one. And there's our push button start. And finally, here's our key fob.